So I'm deciding I'm going to give the headlights a bit of a spruce up today. As you can see, they lack a little bit lackluster. So what I've done in the past, I've painted out these in black because they're projectors, so there's no sort of real reflective properties from it. However, I did leave the main beam thinking that the reflector would obviously reflect out in there. However, as it works out, I'm running with HIDs at the minute, so the HIDs are actually brighter than my main beams, and they still hardly light the roads up. The indicators, obviously, I just left out because on account of them for reflection, you know, just to give them a little bit of reflection. But as you can see, this one's all nice and bright and sparkly. This one looks like it's got cataracts. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to whip the headlights back out. I'm going to paint the whole lot right the way across. So it blacks the headlight out. I think it'll give it a bit more of a meaner look about it. Also, I got given these a long time ago, long time ago, off a lad in the club, just clear plastic lenses for them. So I'm going to fit them to them, which should spruce it up a little bit. And I've ordered these off eBay, sequential side lights and indicators. So stick them around the inside as well. The majority of people on these go for angel eyes, the halos. But not my thing really. I fancied something a little bit different. So anyway, these are the ones I've got over here are switchback side lights. So the side light will be on, and then when you put the indicator on, the side light goes off, indicator indicates, and then side light comes back on again. So at the minute I'm running LED bulbs in, and they just give it a little bit of a blue tint to it, even though they're not really not blue bulbs. But that's not a problem, we'll sharp get rid of them. Let's get on. We'll take the front bumper off, pull the headlights out and get the headlight strip, and we'll go from there. Right, so what I've done is I've trimmed out the bottom of them, bottom of there and the top of there on them, just purely so I can get me get the strip laid in. The strip fits in nice now. So what I'll do is I'm gonna just body work it a little bit, because I've gone a little bit deeper there, caused the scratches, and since I've got the clear lenses to go on, you'll see all the little marks on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to body work it in, just round the corners off a little bit so they're not quite as sharp and edgy, and I'm going to fill these corners up here so they're a bit more rounder, so that when I tape the strips on, rather than it being an edge, a hard edge, it'll be a nice radius edge. So I'll just fill them tough corners up, and the corners are there, so that when it comes when it comes along here, sort of curl and along, right the way along, and end up, hopefully if I've measured it right, end up about there on the indicator. So that's what we're going to do. I'm just going to do that off camera because it's just a lot of basically me filling and rubbing down, so we'll just crack on with that. I can't help but feel, not only has that made a lot more mess than I initially planned on, but it took a lot more effort than I planned on it doing, but they're not perfect, but they're ready for priming there now. Get them primed and painted, hopefully get them on so I can get them rebuilt, ready for this weekend to take away with the car. You can see I've getting them painted. I've rounded off the corners in there as I wanted to. It's not perfect. There's still a couple of little ripples in the back where I slightly over sanded, but for the purposes of this weekend it'll do for me. They're both done. Just waiting for me to basically dust everything down here, get rid of all the bodge dust and stick the headlights back together again. Now, what I've been doing in the meantime, I've added a couple of resistors to the headlights, to the indicator, sorry. I'll put a link down below to all the stuff that I've put on, but if you can see the back, see the indicator there, it's flashing nice and slowly. If I take the resistor out, it's going hell for leather. So the reason for that is because it relies on the resistance of a normal bulb. Trying to do this one hand, it's a bit tricky. It relies on the resistance of a normal bulb to relies on the resistance of a normal bulb, and obviously we're putting LEDs in, it doesn't have that resistance there. So all we're doing is, effectively, we're just tricking it with these into thinking there's another bulb in. So I did need them in to stop it from flashing 20 to the dozen. I'll put a link down below to all the parts that I've used in this, including the sequential strip lights and these little resistors. But all you do effectively is just take the live feed, send it into the resistor, and then ground out the other side. And as I say, that then recreates the effect of having another bulb in. So it means this wire here I can plug straight into the back of the indicator for the LED, and that should work as it needs to. So all that's left to do now is all that's left to do now, I'm going to show in 2 days. All that's left to do now is start and build these headlights up. And there we'll have it. We're going to wrap that up there. Yeah, so that's the headlights done, all the front ends back on again. I need to give it a proper wash ready for this weekend. But that's basically how I turn a set of standard headlights into, just modernise them up a little bit more. There's a few issues and things with them that I'm not 100% happy with, but I need to re-go over them anyway, because at the minute I've got these lights here just wired into the side lights. They should be DRL, so they should be wired in through the ignition, so they're on all the time the ignition's on, and then switch off when your side lights come on, like of a night time. But just for now, for purposes of this weekend, because I'll be honest, I was running short of time, they're just staying like this for now. The indicators still work, and they sweep as they should do, but no small issue with them. The battery on my car, I think the battery on my car, I'll be honest, on its way out, it's getting a bit wick, and they don't actually trigger and work when the ignition's off. Needs the engine running to give it just that little tiny boost of power to actually trigger them to work, but they do work when the engine's running. Again, I'll address that better when I come to rewire them and redo the little few things that I've got to do on it. But I mean, other than that, I'm well happy how that's turned out. I mean, even there. I mean, even with the lights off, I'm quite happy with the looks. Gives the car quite a different look with the black headlights rather than the sort of patchy headlights that I had on before. So yeah, very happy with that. By the time this episode airs, unfortunately I missed last week's upload, just purely I was still busy with these headlights. I could have uploaded last weekend, but it would have just been like a half a project. Basically, these weren't quite finished. It wouldn't have been much, just me stripping them down and preparing them, so it wasn't really up to much, so it wasn't worth doing it. However, and then next weekend, we're at another show again, Total Retro over in Kendal. I have been looking forward to this one because we were actually camping out the night before as well, just for added fun and pleasure, you know, because we always get a good giggle when we camp out, a few beers and a bit of a laugh and a giggle with pals. So yeah, we're camping out over then. Total Retro Show, 8th of May, over in Kendal Showground. If you're local and you fancy it, pop along, say hi, you know, don't forget to stop by and say hello. Same with last week when I gave GTE John a shout out. The next YouTuber I'm going to give a shout out to is Daniel Ball. Now this kid's got a lovely Nova SR with a turbo lump in, tidy little motor. He's doing some lovely jobs at the minute. He's busy. The videos he's uploading at the minute is he's 0 to 60s up the pod, so they're quite interesting. He smokes some pretty fun cars, like, you know. So yeah, he's doing well. So yeah, I put a link down below to his channel. By all means, pop over, give him a shout, tell him I sent you. Absolutely fantastic. I'm sure I'd be well tickled with it. But yeah, I'm quite enjoying his content. It's good stuff, and he seems like a good lad. Other than that, I'm hoping there should be a new merch drop this week. Maybe this weekend. I've put the order in for it. I'm just waiting on them coming through, just so I can basically show you what we've got, just in time for summer. I've got some nice t-shirts coming along. Not this one. This is my work t-shirt. Yeah, so we've got a new merch drop coming on this week, and yeah, again, link down below, drop a link down below at the shop. By all means, pop along, have a look, see what you think. Other than that, I'd like to thank all the new subscribers. We have had a monumental boost last weekend, very much appreciated. All going towards the figures to get to 1,000 by the end of the year, and we're still not quite on track, but it is still climbing steadily, so we're happy with that, keeping them motivated, keeping jobs going. So yeah, thanks to all the new subscribers. And with that, I shall see you guys middle of the week. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching.